Well, the Soviets just demonstrated that with the appropriate chip pulls, they can get pretty aggressive. It's the end of turn 12. And the primary action occurred up here. We're just northeast of Moscow. And the Das Reich, one of the two units, from that division was attacked and soundly beaten. The units have now moved on. Because it all actually happened in turn 11. But we Soviets have stopped the headlong advance of the 46th, plugged the holes, fortified, and I think they might be able to hold this line. We're a little thin down here, but we do, and we have some untried units still there. So as the game goes on, there's got to be more and more chits come out that are higher value, which can only be goodness for the Soviets. In the south of Moscow, the Soviets decided to pull back and just hunker down in the fortified zones. This is actually reasonably weak. There's two C units here. There's a B unit here. There's 1A there. It's not good. It's not good at all. Fortunately, the 20th is out of supply or unsupported. The 57th isn't, but it's split up at the moment. So it's still touch and go for both sides. We're on. We're going to get ready to move on to, I think, turn 13. Is that right? Off a turn? No, turn 13. So moving on to turn 13. Don't forget the Germans' goal is encirclement, which means basically killing 50 points worth, achieving 50 victory points, and exiting units, or encircling so that no Zocs or Ezocs are able to allow a supply line to exit the eastern edge of the map. That was really poorly worded, wasn't it? What I'm trying to say is that we basically need to have contiguous zones of control around the entirety of Moscow. How about that? Is that better? Over here near Tula, fight went down on the wire there. The 43rd finally just said to hell with it and just took out the two units that were harassing here. And if I need to, I'm going to kill these two guys as well. I'm sick of these guys running around the map and trying to interfere with supply. Supply really for the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th turn through 16, there are a couple of things that we're focused on. We're focused on capturing this city here, where it is here. It's a main road junction that gives me east-west access for supply for the Germans, and this city here also has to go down. If I have those two cities, then I can keep all of these units in supply. That will allow the push to the northeast. Otherwise, we're in trouble, and that's why this is so annoying, because I could really use that core up there. A bit of a long video, sorry about that, but there's not a lot else going on here. Due to the fact that we don't have enough supported armies because of the way the points are allocated, I've had to stand down both of these guys. I know they were doing well and it's got some fresh armor in. I'm kind of frustrated, but I'm going to at least try and get them up to the point of departure, line of departure, and then we'll work out some way to do an end around or go through. I got to get this city too, actually. So at some point, at turn 16 onwards, somewhere we have to capture that city, or stay within 6 hexes of this line for supply for all of these guys. So that's the east-west roads are proving difficult because there are none. Most of them are going north-south and all go into Moscow and come out of Moscow. There's not enough east-west roads to connect to the map for supply. What was that? That was it. The only other thing that I found out that I was doing wrong, which was disappointing, not a major impact. I kind of fudged it in. I'd moved the mechanized units that were in unsupported armies those corps that were mechanized were moving their full movement rate instead of their half movement rate. I went back through my mind's eye and looked at who had moved where and when. Had a look back at some of the pictures. I don't think it's a big deal. Primarily, the impact would have been the 24th, and they really haven't moved around a lot. They kind of milled around the entire Tula area. So I think we're okay. Over here, we moved a few guys pretty aggressively, but they had 2 turns to get to where they are. They were in supply for the first 2 turns coming on the board. So I think we're good, relatively speaking. The only area that we may have over moved was the 57th, and that's these 2 guys down here primarily. Oh well, it wasn't like they were charging into combat, so it's not a big deal. So I think overall we're playing okay. We're trying to stay within the bounds of the rules, or at least the spirit of the rules. And we now have 51 victory points for the Germans at the end of turn 12. And that is a wrap, I think. We'll get on with turn 13.